Hi, we're the Western Washington University Nerd Fighter Club, and we're here to talk about the American Civil Liberties Union for this year's Project for Awesome. The T4A is an annual YouTube video charity event where people post videos advocating for charities in order to decrease the level of world suck. The ACLU's mission is to keep the promises put forth in the Bill of Rights and to spread those promises to everyone. They are daring to create a more perfect union. In order to do this, the ACLU tackles real issues in real time, including civil and human rights. The ACLU leaves no stone unturned.
The ACLU does a significant amount of work in criminal justice reform. Through their Criminal Law Reform Project, they work to end excessively harsh criminal justice policy that gets in the way of an equal society. They highlight that the Declaration of Independence outlines a version of America with equal justice, something that we as a country have yet to achieve. Their racial justice program strives to counteract this discrimination by taking on cases that significantly affect communities of color.
Voting rights are the fundamental rights upon which all of our civil liberties rest. As the cornerstone for our fight for democracy, the ACLU has been involved in this fight since its inception. Founded in 1920, one of the first goals of the ACLU was to end the disenfranchisement of African Americans. And although this goal was initially achieved in the 1960s, a new wave of voter suppression measures have emerged in the current political climate, with over 30 of these measures being implemented or passed in the last decade. Whether it be voter ID requirements, the purging of voters from voter rolls, cuts to early voting and mail-in ballots, and more, the ACLU is actively litigating against all rising attempts at voter suppression, especially of minority votes. Recent victories include ending the disenfranchisement of 1.4 million felons in Florida, deconstructing a wealth barrier preventing those former felons from reclaiming their voting rights, and expanding the California ballot to support 14 new languages in the upcoming election. But the fight for our voting rights is far from over.
The gender bias prevalent in our society has resulted in a wage gap and keeps women from the employment prospects that men have easy access to. The gender bias also prevents women from pursuing the same educational opportunities as men, and it slows the actions we are taking to prevent the violence against women. This very real bias has heavy consequences, and we are failing to confront them. This is why we need the ACLU. The ACLU also works with reproductive rights because they are fighting to stop the extreme policies that politicians are putting in place that prevent abortion from being a personal and private endeavor. They are fighting for affordable contraception, for a woman's right to a personal choice, and against pregnancy discrimination. Further, in the current political climate of the US, existing as a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender person is incredibly risky. We face unemployment, being forced to use different bathrooms, being turned away from fostering and adoption agencies, and being denied healthcare. Several individuals are being unlawfully discriminated against. So how do we make real change?
The current situation in the United States is the reason we need organizations like the American Civil Liberties Union. We need people willing to fight for the equality of all people. So please support them in any way you can by sharing this video, spreading the word about what they do, and of course by donating. Please go to the Project for Awesome website and vote for your favorite charities. And of course, DFTBA.